All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of Gar Capital. It is Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024. Glad to be with you this morning and every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you like these videos where we talk about the markets every day. We kind of go over, preview the day, look at some charts, kind of talk about the overnight action. So, again, if you like these videos, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, turn on notifications. Bottom end of the screen, as you can see, is a scrolling green bar with some info. That's regarding the live market blog. That is free for everybody on Discord. Follow the instructions below and we'd love to have you there. Let's go ahead and get started. Dow futures are down 2 points. Flatsville. NASDAQ down 0.14%. S&P Flatsville down 1 point. The Russell's down about 0.5%. I want to take a look at that chart together. 10-year Treasury yields are down 4.233% is where it is currently. US dollar 104.46 up 0.15%. The VIX pretty muted, 0.34%. It was down yesterday, nearly 9%. Crude oil is down again, 0.83%. Gasoline futures down 0.30%. Gold is up 0.5%, 24.06. Silver at 29.23. Copper's down 1%. Bitcoin is down 2.48%. Ethereum ETF will be trading today, according to the SEC. So you can see that Ethereum futures are up this morning, 0.46%. And in Forex land, dollar yen down 0.63%. Euro dollars down 34 pips. Pound dollar down 23. Good morning, all. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some of the overnight action here on the NASDAQ futures. So, NASDAQ futures, we got above 20K twice. So, we're knocking on the door. Remember, we talked about that 20K level. We did break above it yesterday and we rejected it. We're now testing it again. We're about 30 points away. We were a lot lower overnight, right around like 850 to 860, 19,860. Nice bounce so far. If we can clear, obviously, 20,050 or so, but we're right near, keep hitting, knocking on the door here. Let's go to the hourly and you can see what I'm talking about. And you can see this price action last couple of days, it's just slowly but surely. The question remains, if we can crack 20 grand and sustain above it, which looks like we are knocking on the door. Again, I'm still kind of net bearish for the week in terms of tech because this 20,000 level just still hasn't cracked. So again, I want to see if that does break, but it looks like we're going to get there. Now, once we get there, who knows? That may happen at 9:30 where we pull back like we did yesterday. But in terms of the NASDAQ currently knocking on the door, now the question remains, what is the next target? It would be right here, the 20-day moving average at 20,265. So let's see if we get there. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch, obviously, if we do. But if we stay below 20K, that resistance just keeps holding. But as of right now, again, very muted price action. So we can't really put too much emphasis, at least right now, other than the overnight action, what we got a dip and then it got bought up. Let's take a look at the Russell. You can see above this rising triangle, like we talked about yesterday. I still like the target for 2267 on the Russell, but it's down 0.45%. So small caps taking a hit relative to the NASDAQ. Both are down. S&P is flat. So I did make a chart here on IWM, and you can see that we have another setup of a bull flag. So the question remains, can we get above 220? And if we do, right now we're right below, we get above 220 or so. I want to take a look at the options side for IWM and see if we can maybe do the 222, something relatively close. But my target would be 226. The only issue I have is that if we do pull back on the Russell right around 218, then this bull flag is invalidated, unfortunately. Let's see what else this morning. Let me go ahead and expand this. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to go on the daily. Yep, still in the trend line. Nothing has really changed here. Still looking for 70,000. Just rejected right around 68,695 or so yesterday. So down 2.5% this morning. We'll see if Bitcoin catches some bids this morning. All right, let me get to the questions. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We also had earnings. That's right. Let me go over that. The one that stood out to me was Spotify. They were up this morning. So UPS was a miss on the top and bottom line. They restarted share buyback. Coca-Cola did beat on the top and bottom line. And General Motors also beat as well and also raised guidance. Spotify also beat on the, no, they missed on the active users. They met revenue, they beat gross margin, important, and they jumped 7.2 after the results. Philip Morris is the cigarette company. They beat as well on the top and bottom line, and Comcast beat on the top line, but the bottom, I mean, yeah, they beat on the EPS, excuse me, and then they missed on the revenue expectations. And again, we have been tweeting out all the earnings out there. So let's take a look at Spotify since they were up this morning. Oh, there you go. 338.06. What more can we say? That's a breakout across the board. So very hard to chase. 338.06. We're pretty much up here. I don't know what that was. Excuse me a second. All right. Order rejected. I didn't even do anything. All right. So let's see the Tesla earnings and Google. They were being asked a question regarding Tesla and Google. All right. What do I expect in terms of the earnings? Well, again, I don't know what they're going to say on the call or the reaction, but I'm leaning towards Tesla pulling back to break below 231 and retest this top end of this channel. That's probably where we're looking at to bounce. So I expect a little bit of weakness in Tesla. If we were to break out, it's above 280. You have a gap to fill here at 289. Let's take a look at Alphabet. Alphabet did bounce yesterday, and you could see that here. Still within this kind of megaphone formation, but it's really a part of this channel. So we bounced off the 50-day at 179.78. That needs to breach again. In terms of Google right now, I do expect them to just tag right here, 176.36. But unless we break that, this is going to be just neutral to me. I don't know how high the expectations are for both of these companies. I assume Google's would be higher than Tesla. But Tesla, remember, they missed on deliveries, but the stock soared. So there you go. It's all about the reaction, guys. All about the reaction. Let's take a look at what we have here. We have Palantir open, pretty much just chop. Nothing has really changed, unfortunately. Daily candle was decent, not the worst in the world if it's red, but again, just kind of waiting around for this one, waiting for the bus. Mara, again, we talked about this bull flag, popped, chopped, dropped 1 hour candle at 9:30, 10 o'clock. That's where, or 9:30, excuse me. That's where all the bad action happened. And since Bitcoin is down right now, it's going to probably be under pressure. But Ethereum is moving higher. So if we start taking a look at the charts here, let me see. Right here, your support is right around $22.50. That's where we got the breakout. So a retest and bounce is probably in the cards. But again, just have to wait that out. We've traded it many times, so it's nothing new to us. Robinhood is another one that I have options, and we're still within that trend line. So nothing's there that has changed. Upstart, tough, but again, still holding on to that 200-day. See the hourly. Yeah, I have 26.68 as a downside alert, but so far it's holding up, and we will see what we get. Mara, yes, I just talked about Mara. Looks like we might get this retest here of this support of 22.5 and then bounce. Again, that's what we broke out of last Monday, and that's where we caught profits on that rise on Mara. So looks like a check back. It did look like a bull flag at first, but never got the crack above 26. So it's unfortunate. Good morning, CGC. Cannabis stock starting to push. All right, we are above the 50. The question remains, what's the next target? I guess around $10, and you use $8 as support, but a breakout would be above 20. So this is a political thing. Florida is going to vote on cannabis legalization, one of the biggest markets in the United States. That'll be in November. Obviously, that will move cannabis stocks. But as of right now, I think all it is just kind of posturing or positioning ahead of the election, trying to get in that we may get a cannabis-friendly administration, I assume, or the constitutional amendments to make cannabis legal in Florida would pass. Again, that's a complete assumption of voting. I have no idea, but that's what it looks like. So I would use $8 as support, $10 as target, $20 is the true breakout. Let's see. Kathy Wood with her ARKK. You got to understand with ARKK, the biggest holding, I think, is Tesla. So you're kind of beholden to that. It's been dead money really since 2022. And until you get above, actually, you need to get above here. Once you get above 54 or so, that's where you can start pretty much getting excited about a breakout. but we're just not there yet. So I think there's better things to trade than ARKK, better things to own that is going to be cheaper in terms of expense ratios, like QQQ. I'd rather have Qs than ARKK personally. You're not paying for those expense fees, those management fees. Qs do have management fees, but it's more of an ETF than anything else. Anything else? How's Kathy Wood's ETFs? Again, she bought CrowdStrike yesterday, I believe, and that's down. So she's just buying the dip. That's a bounce today. If you can get above 290, that's the 200-day, and get recaptured and close above that, then we have a gap to fill at 334. So Crowd is going to be interesting if we can get a bounce. I have no issues or qualms trading it, but we got to see when the bleeding stops. When does that knife stop and hit the actual floor? That's really what we're waiting for. All right, team, we'll leave it there. Let's see how the rest of the day goes. Yesterday was kind of a grind. Not much happening. Very, very chop. All the move was pre-market in the morning, and then we got that 1 hour flush in the morning. So I will see what we get, and we'll move on from there and see how the session goes. Have a great rest of your morning. I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers all.